Well, plenty of action to unfold on the night session here from show court 2 as we take a glimpse at the action unfolding on court 1 between Okuhara and Ratchanok Intanon. We've witnessed a couple of really good matches. Sun Wan-ho finding his way through in the men's singles, up first against Chu Tien-chen of Chinese Taipei. The top seed ousted, downed today in 72 minutes by the South Korean, and they're just confirmation of the mixed doubles match that we've watched as well, approaching the hour mark. That was a long, grueling affair. They had to work extremely hard, the Thai duo, to wriggle through that tight one. Ellis and Smith acquitted themselves really well. Now we will turn our attention to women's doubles action. Jongkulfan KITITHARAKUL and Rawinda PRAJONGJAI take on the STOEVA sisters, Gabriela and Stefani, from Bulgaria. 4th seeds against the 6th seeds in their 3rd ever clash. They are locked in at 1-1 head-to-head, sharing 2 previous meetings. There they are. There's the Thai pairing. Just having a little slurp of something to stay hydrated. The hall is cool, about 13 degrees outside, and well, they obviously don't bother heating the hall up in China, such as the warmth in the summer. They need to do that, far from it. That's Group B, which we are turning our attention to, and as you can see in that group that Matsumoto and Nagahara have had a couple of wins, and Lee and Shin had a win last night but lost to Matsumoto and Nagahara earlier today. That was a close one. In an hour and 19 minutes, 21-17, the Koreans went down to the Japanese, but more importantly, Lee So-hei and Shin Chun-chan beat the Thais last night, as did the Japanese beat the Bulgarians. So neither of these pairs has yet had a win, so craving that desperately to stay afloat in this tough Group B in women's doubles. Just confirmation of their previous match at the German Open this year. That was on the 9th of March. The Stoeva sisters had a win there against KITITHARAKUL and PRAJONGJAI, 21-11, 21-9. They were 6 seeds with the Bulgarians in that event, but their last encounter prior to that was a win for the Thai players, but that was back in January 2016, and the Stoevas are much improved and very physically strong. Jongkulfan KITITHARAKUL from Thailand in the pair of 25-year-olds, world rank 8th at the moment, from Chiang Mai, have been as high as 6th in the world in July of this year momentarily. 17 wins, only 5 losses this year for these two. Starting the year on a perfect note, winning the Thai Masters at home, then a runner-up spot in the Indian Open, followed that as well for Rawinda PRAJONGJAI. Well, we brought you their match yesterday, so these are athletes that we're very familiar with seeing. Bangkok, born and bred. Semi-finalists at the Thai Open, the Singapore Open as well, and besides another 8 quarter-final finishes. And as you can see, their road here so far, lost out to Lee and Shin yesterday, and I can tell you that Shin was just owning that net. 37 minutes it took, and they were just clean beat. You know, that they were just outdone. They didn't quite have enough power or variety on the day. And the Stoeva sisters, you would imagine, will be keen to pounce. Gabriela, taking a look at her, she's the one with blonde hair. 24 years old, from Haskovo, and obviously her sister from the same place. Stefani, just a year younger, ranked 9th, but have been as high as 8th in the world, these two. And they're kind of the surprise package of the year, really, the Bulgarians, who started the year well, making the Swiss Open final. European Championships, they won. This is their loss yesterday as we peruse their opening match. Matsumoto and Nagahara took them down 21-10, 21-16. Familiar Australian face in the chair this time, Trish Gubb. And Apinda Saparawal, the Indian service judge, alongside. Yeah, so the European champions here, right up against the might of the ties. Semi-finals of the Victor China Open for these two, and the final of the French Open as well. They've had a great season. They were the only European pair to feature at the business end of major events after the Danes Pedersen and BUL, who won the England Open, the All England, I should say.
KITITHARAKUL and Rwanda PRAJONGJAI, Thailand. And on my left, STOEVA, Gabriela STOEVA, Bulgaria.
The third meeting between these European and Thai pairings. Gabriela STOEVA to get us underway. Well, judging from that opening rally, we could be here for a while. Just another perfect illustration of how slow conditions are here. Mini battle won by the Thai duo.
Service over.
Honours even, but two really tough opening points. so tough to kill the shuttle.
Service over. 2-all.
And where, I know it's a bit of a sweeping generalization, but the Bulgarians are particularly powerful. And where they have perhaps a little more power, the Taijo have beautiful finesse and touch. Makes for a good watch.
Service over. 3-2. PRAJONGJAI challenges.
Well, it's a pride thing, I guess, isn't it? When the service fault was called. First challenge of the match. Let's find out. Did she find the line? No.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. 4-2. Play. Service over. 3-4.
Each of these rallies is grueling, punishing. Well done. High skill level there from Stefani.
5-3.
Good leave.
Service over. 4.
KITITHARAKUL very spatially aware there. That was good. Well done. Flat hard drive off the backhand from Gabriela STOEVA, serving her well. And it's quite interesting, isn't it, the patterns of play already, in that these two perhaps a little bit more creative with their soft-handed cuts around the shuttle and more bludgeoning through the belly of the court, the Bulgarians more often.
Service over. 5-6.
Great slice, carved around the side of the shuttle, and it dropped like a stone. Well done.
Service over. 7-6.
Very persistent and focused, the Bulgarians there. This was nicely blended and predominantly power laden. Bulgarian coaches looking particularly wired on the edges of their seats. A lot at stake here. Well done. Lovely reverse slice, I think it was.
6.
Just breaking away then with a run of 3. Beg your pardon, a run of 2. I correct myself again, it's actually a run of 4 now, from 6-all to 6-10 for the Stoevas. One of the features I've noticed over the last couple of days is when a team are on the attack, they're very often denied by some amazing cross and straight blocks because of this slow sort of situation. Look at that, there's a fine example of it right there. So it's the Stoevas who head to the MGI, 11-6 to the good. Thai coach reprimanded there by the umpire. Please return to your chair. Just trying to get in a few extra words of advice. A lot to say, obviously.
11-6.
So the power of these two, clad in light blue, is starting to penetrate the defences more often than not of the Thai duo. And 6 in a row for the Stoevas. Starting to really get this opening game by the scruff of its neck, seemingly. It's gone.
13-6. out.
Good leave. Service error from
Service over.
Stefani
7-13.
Well done. Having to really dig deep to secure points out here, both teams.
13.
Spread the court nicely there, and well, the short lift there got what they needed.
Nine, 13. Oh. 10, 13.
Oh, well done. Great reach from Gabriela Stueva there.
Service
Just to stop the
over.
run of points at 4 for the Thai duo.
10.
Now, can they rebuild from here? Now they've snatched a point back.
Service over. 11, 14.
Rawinda Prajongjai has really raised the bar of late. Starting to play some terrific badminton. Well done. Upping the ante and being rewarded. Prajongjai in particular has started to add just a little bit more spike to some of these smashes, and it's serving her team very, very well, giving them the upper hand.
Service over. 15, 12.
Such a fine line you tread, isn't it? Right there, just an example of trying to hit the shuttle too hard and finding the net tape as a consequence. But she's got to take those kind of risks, because on occasions the Thai players can look just a, and this is said with the greatest respect, just a little bit lightweight.
Service over, 13-16.
Well, when you consider the Bulgarians were 13-6 up, and suddenly now there's only 3 points between them. It's been a great run of energy from Thailand.
14-16.
Got to be careful here, the Bulgarians. Oh, well done. The Thai surge continues out here then on show court 2.
15-16.
They are closing the gap very, very fast. I've seen a couple of frustrated looks between points over the faces of Gabriela and Stefani. Stoeva. One of their goals is to not get too emotional on court. Something they've really improved over the last 3 months or so. Look at this.
16.
Hold it all the way back to parity. Now, that is commendable. Eleven from the last 15 points
17-16.
have been won by these two. They break to the front again, as they did do earlier on in the game. But this has been a terrific turnaround. High energy level from them both. Bulgarian fans will be frustrated at this stage. 13-6 up in the driving seat, completely lost their way. Is it an intensity issue? I don't know, but the Thais are on the front foot throughout the last 10 minutes or so. Let off the hook, I think you'd call it there.
19-16.
Look at that. Incredible. Another run of 6, 7 consecutive points here now for the Thai pairing, the far end. Stoeva sisters don't know quite what's hit them. And the trouble here is, of course, when you've not done much winning, it can really sort of wound you. Neither of these pairs has yet won a match. And this a must-winner for both teams, really. Oh, super pumped and focused KITITHARAKUL take a
Game
bow
point,
there. That was
16.
terrific badminton. So from nowhere, 8 consecutive points bring up 4 game points for the ties. What a turnaround this has been.
Game.
21-16 in 24 minutes. Who'd have thought that 10 or 12 minutes or so ago when they were right under the pump? What a turnaround that is for Team Thailand. The STOEVAs with plenty to ponder.
Закъсняло положение, почвате да блъскате и играете на плоско, постоянно с една и съща скорост. Изведнъж. Затова ви направиха 6-7 точки подред. Спирайте, взимайте си време и разтегляйте играта, сменяйте ритъма. Един бърз удар, един бавен, един бърз, един бавен, да накъсвате играта, както в началото. Колкото пъти го направихте, толкова пъти палето падна на земята. Къде другия штрипът?
He's a busy chap, isn't he, the Thai coach? He's can't stop talking. But that was an amazing turnaround, and you'd imagine these two in light blue from Bulgaria, the STOEVA sisters, will be enraged with what just happened and throw caution to the wind and come out with quite an angry response. Let's see what happens. That's the thing, isn't it? Interesting when the coach is saying so much. It's so easy to over-talk as a coach in this sport. You know, some would argue, well, perhaps he should have just said more of the same, please, girls.
Service over. 1-all.
Understandably, energy a little low in the Bulgarian camp right now, as is the communication. That said, there was a high five after this point. Well, I think the Bulgarians are beginning to look a little frustrated because they're unable just to muscle through like they do most of their opponents. And with ties a little bit more subtle, but they've raised their intensity so high, these white-shirted Thai players, that it's hard to find a way through. But can they continue working at that kind of intensity level? That's the question on everyone's lips. Oh, that's beautiful. That's much more like it. Lovely change up as well. And Stefani at the back of the court there, just redlining on the smash, and it gave her sister a lovely opening for the straight drop. I think that's the thing out here, isn't it? You've either got to go lights out at the smash or reserve energy, because nothing in between will get it done.
Service over. 4-2.
Well, the door was ajar in the middle of the opening game, and they have not only walked through it, they've kicked it down. And they're not looking back either. There is no respite at the moment. They've got their opponents in a headlock, and they are tightening the grip. Still a long way to go, though, you sense. They've got all the answers right now, and they're not going to relinquish that grip, are they? You can tell. Look at the body language. They want this so badly.
Service over. 3-6.
Two in a row. Can they silence the ties momentarily and get to 3? Yes, they can. A run of 3 to equate the multiple runs of 3 of their opponents.
Service over. 7-5.
Nicely done. How visionary, how court aware.
5.
Sense that Gabriela Stoeva was backing off, and that was just an illustration of somebody who is extremely focused right now.
Service over. 6, 8.
Oh, well done. You sense that when the Stoeva sisters win the attack back, then they've got to really make it count, as they did there. But when Stefani at the back generally gets the opportunity to smash, she should redline and then let her sister pick fruit. That's got to go away. I thought for a second they might lose that point, but
9.
Well done, Gabriela, for getting that to the floor. Well, clad in sweat. Just an illustration of how hard everybody's working on court. Well done. KITITHARAKUL very, very wired at the net. So a chance for these two to head to the turn with a little bit of a scoreboard comfort. Well, they're going to challenge. There was no call.
PRAJONGJAI challenges called in.
Respectfully, they've walked back onto court, but they got a good look at that. It was quite a slow shot. Now, was it a challenge spurned out of desperation or realism? It was in.
One challenge remaining. Service over. 9-10. Play.
That is sublime, the cross block from heaven to get to the turn for PRAJONGJAI and KITITHARAKUL there. Amazing. 11-9 and a game to the good. The ties in front all the way here now.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
เรื่องขาพยายามเวลาจะสุดๆแล้วกระตุ้นขาตัวเองให้พร้อม
Well, to remind those of you, if you are just joining us, welcome along to the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals in Guangzhou. This is day 2, round-robin stages here. Neither of these pairings has yet won a match, but both teams working hard to do so. KITITHARAKUL has been venomous up at the net,
12,
like a
9.
cobra. And in game 1, these two were 13-6 up, seemingly in the driving seat. They played a couple of soft points, and suddenly the tide turned. They were in, and they've not really looked back since. Almost as if tactically the coach has spotted something and they're employing it. Whatever it is, they look extremely focused and frugal in error. Bulgarian coaches,
12.
hands waving hysterically, clapping feverishly after that point. And suddenly Gabriela Stoeva has become very, very active at the net. Engineering the point nicely down the sideline there to get the opening. Well done, terrific flat hard drive from Gabriela Stoeva. Now then, suddenly the Bulgarians break to the front in game 2, something we've not seen in this game, apart from at the very first point of it. And still it comes back. Sheer will and force of character shining through there from all four athletes, but in the end, it was the ties that found a way. Great dig there from KITITHARAKUL off the floor. 82-shot rally, point of the match, that one. And Gabriela STOEVA denied by the net. Left away far too short, got the treatment it deserved. And the mental discipline and determination of the ties this evening has been inspirational, frankly. Obscured, suggests the lines judge. She's got her hands over her face. There was some sort of call. Maybe it was a roar of yes from one of the Thai players. I'm not entirely sure, but there has been a challenge. Now this is a critical juncture of the match, you sense. Yeah, it's just wide.
Service over. 14 all.
It's gone.
Service over. 15.
Trouble is when you go for an angle that tight to the net, you've not got a lot of distance to play with. Guttural squeals of delight from
16.
KITITHARAKUL and PRAJONGJAI. And the ties you sense closing in on what would become their first group win. They've been tireless this evening. Run of 3 from the Thai players.
Play. Service over.
Bulgarians muscle their way through that one.
17.
Gone, spilled over the back line. Delight for Thai fans, that moment.
18-15.
Now then, the change of shuttle again. Aravinda PRAJONGJAI, can she make this serve count? String break for STOEVA there.
19-15.
You've got to admire their persistence and resilience today. The coaches have come on and barked out the instructions, and they have listened, taken it on board, and not only that, but executed the plan beautifully. And you sense these two are running out of time. 2 points away now.
Service over. 16-19.
Back-to-back points
17-19
from Gabriela STOEVA. Very brave in the front court. Is this a final foray from these two, or is there more?
Service over. 20. Match point 17.
3 match points for KITITHARAKUL and PRAJONGJAI. What a point, and what a time to do it.
18-20.
One of the 3 match points staved off by the STOEVAs.
Play.
There it is then, 3 minutes shy of an hour, a focused and gutsy performance from the 2 Thais, Jongkulfan KITITHARAKUL and Rawinda PRAJONGJAI. The 4 seeds with their first win in the group. And look at what it means to them. Absolutely delighted. And a big sigh of relief. They worked so hard. They were 13-6 down in that opening game. What a turnaround it was for KITITHARAKUL and PRAJONGJAI. 21-16, 21-18, they come through in 57 tough minutes. Hard work it was, but that was the final scoreline. Great result for the Thais. Didn't they have to work hard to get across the line against the strong Bulgarians? Good win.